Hey guys, in today's video we are building the Master Grade 1100 Wing Gundam from Gundam Wing, obviously. It's a kit that I've been wanting to get for a long time. I also need to get the Wing Zero, but gotta start somewhere with the Wing Gundam. I do have a Master Grade Tallgeese, which I will show that at the end of the video when I do some size comparisons to other kits, but let's go ahead and get this thing started with the torso. Go ahead and get the first couple parts cut up and cleaned up, and then we'll take a look at the cockpit. Let's go ahead and get a closer shot here. As you can see, it's got a little pilot that go inside. I don't usually paint these guys up on my Gundams, but I do like that they're included, and I do put them in. I think it's just a nice little piece of detail, and helps you see the scale of these things if they were to actually be real. It's easy for them to say, oh, it's 1/100 scale, but it's kind of hard to put that in perspective unless you actually have like a scale person to go with them. And there we go, just a nice little simple cockpit. It is articulated, and with all the armor and stuff on it, does open up so you can see inside of there. Maybe one day I'll paint the pilots on the inside of these guys, but I usually don't ever pose them with the cockpit open. Just try to either have them in a standing pose or some kind of general action pose. But we'll go ahead and get the rest of the abdomen kind of part kind of build up and come back when there's some armor pieces or something going on. Here we have the abdomen built up a little more. We got the kind of arm, shoulder joints in, some more siding, kind of filling it out. The neck piece, it's just a simple 2-ball joint little piece. The arms do come out as well as like articulating like normal, but we'll go ahead and getting the armor that kind of covers the cockpit front of the chest with the iconic green jewel. And we get this here and put a nice little sticker on it. So let's go ahead and get this stuff all cut out, cleaned up, and then we'll get it together. Alright, I do like these stickers, the nice shiny foil stickers, but you do have to be careful getting them lined up. I cut it out, but I did actually get this piece on and assembled with a tiny little speck of, I don't know if it was a piece of paper or a little piece of plastic that I cut off underneath the well, between the sticker and the clear piece that goes on it. I did have to it's kind of a pain to take it apart and get it out, but I did do that off camera, or at least I cut it out because you didn't need to see me put it together, take it apart, and put it back together. So that's something to keep an eye on when you're doing stickers that are covered up by another piece. And I went ahead and cut out a couple more of the front pieces that kind of go with it, that part of the articulating opening cockpit. It all kind of fits on right there in the middle. It was a little weird getting some of the pieces on, but went together otherwise smoothly, and it's always a cool feature to have a opening cockpit. So we're going to go ahead and get the rest of the upper body kind of armor cut out, cleaned up, and assembled. It's pretty straightforward from here as far as that. It's just the kind of armor pieces. The main body is done, and then afterwards we'll move on to the head. And here is the final upper body section. The backpack is separate, as well as the shoulders with the arms, obviously, but it's time to get to one of the most iconic parts of Gundam done, the head, which I got in a nice little time lapse for you guys. I think in the next video, when I do some of these time lapses, I'll turn the autofocus off and maybe turn my fan off so that the paper isn't blowing back and forth. But hey, you learn as you do things. Now just gotta get the pieces cleaned up and assembled. And of course, another sticker. I went ahead and did all the foil stickers on this kit as they came up, all the other decals. I'm gonna do some of them, but I'm gonna just do that on some other day. I didn't want this video to be too long, especially sitting there just doing all these decals. And this one does have a good bit. I'm probably not gonna do all of them. Got to pick and choose what I want. But they want to go ahead and get these two in the head, the front kind of camera lens, and then the eyes, which are always a pain to get center. But I got it good enough. I mean, unless you really sit there and kind of look at it close, you can hardly tell that it's barely a little off. But I got it in there. Now we're going to go ahead and get the rest of the head finished, and there he is. And then after this, it's moving on to the arms. I should probably go and panel line this guy at some point. He doesn't have quite as many spots like lines to panel line as some other kits do, so it'll be interesting to see what actually can be done with that. You can also see in the background here I have a couple of Tyranids hanging out. I was originally going to do those videos before, well, that video before doing these with the Gundam, but the weekend that I was recording this, the weather was too bad for me to go out and prime. But I did, partway through, you'll see they'll jump to all of a sudden being black. The weather cleared up enough for me to go out there and get a nice little black primer, but I was already good way through doing this, so I figured I might as well just stick with this and then save those guys for the next video. So keep an eye out for that in the future. Of course, first up with the arms is doing the forearms. And as you can see here, how I like to build a lot of my symmetrical parts like the arms and legs is to kind of go a few steps at a time, cutting out the parts for both the left and the right, even though the instructions will say for one or the other. Once you get the kind of hang of building a couple of these kits, it's pretty straightforward to do the symmetrical bits. And you see I just do each sub-assembly and just keep lining them up, and I'll do that for the several steps and then kind of put it all together. And you even got the shoulders and everything, and yeah, it's just simple as that, just doing the same thing for both sides. Whenever I'm building these kind of kits, I do enjoy watching the little pile of the little nibs and stuff that I clip off, just grow and grow and get all these different colors as I go through and clean all the different pieces up. It's just like a fun little thing, and plus doing it in like a box like this, it helps keep the mess together. And with that, we are pretty much finished with the arms. Just got to do the hands. There are 4 sets of matching hands. Open set, I think a fist, a holding hand for the beam sabers, and then trigger fingers for the rifle that he has. But I'm gonna at first here just stick with the regular open hands, and then when I build the gun and the shield, I'll swap out the hands when I finish those and put those on. And it's time to actually get these arms assembled and get this whole upper half all put together. Usually I prefer when when they start with the legs and work their way up, so you have it standing up. But just like with the gun cannon that we built a little while back, this one starts with the upper body. And I mean, I guess I could have gone and done the legs first, but might as well just stick to what the instruction booklet says. No reason really not to. I mean, I'm doing this all kind of in one very long sitting, but hey, it's fun. I enjoy it. And there he is, the finished upper half. We're going to get this guy kind of posed up a little bit so you can kind of sit up, and then we'll go on to do the legs and then the waist part. And then before you know it, we'll be doing the backpack, weapon, and shield. It's as simple as that. And just like the arms, I'm going to go ahead and do the left and right at the same time. Just every couple of steps, I'm going to cut out all the parts I need and then get them all cleaned up and assembled, and then move on to the next few steps. I find it just helps kind of speed up the process for me. It seemed like it would take forever if I sat there and did, 10 different steps or whatever it is to get one leg assembled, and basically just sit there and do the exact same thing over again, whereas this, I could just do it. And some of these do say do 2, like I think the feet and like the ankle armor that I just did do say 2, and I think the legs are a little more symmetrical, kind of identical. It's until you get to like the upper part, like where it meets the hips, that it's a little different, whereas the arms, more of those pieces were, I think, separate steps. But I mean, they're either exactly the same or slightly mirror with how you put the actual armor on them. But I mean, it's just something that comes with a little experience of actually building these kits. Once you're kind of comfortable with them, it's pretty easy just to go through. And I'm not even really looking at the other pages until I actually flip it over to see what I need to do, but it's because it's just the same thing basically. And with that, the legs are all assembled. Now it's just a matter of doing the hips and waist. They do something that I kind of like, and that's the front skirt armor is actually separate left and right pieces. I mentioned this in the high grade gun cannon, but a lot of kits, especially with high grades and with some master grades, they keep the front armor skirting as one piece, and like a lot of builders will cut them and separate them into two separate ones. But this one, they actually are farther apart, and they have ball joints that just connect at the top of the hips. So it was already separated. I didn't have to sit there and separate them out myself. And I got everything here together, so it's time to go ahead and throw these couple little sub-assemblies together and get this guy all in one piece. One day, hopefully not too long, I'll get the Wing Zero, and it'd be nice to see these guys side by side comparison of how the build is, how the final product is, as well as eventually getting an endless waltz version that comes with the actual like wings to see it's like the body just the same, just different color. I know there is some like minor details like with the shoulder armor and stuff, but I'll have to in the future get those guys, as well as the rest of the main kind of Wing Gundam team with the heavy arms and death scythe and was it Shenlong and I forget what the other one is. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I have to eventually get the rest of the team all in master grade and do the same with like 00 and some more seed kits, and every Gundam builder knows it's a never-ending cycle of what kits to buy. And so that was him all nice and finished, and we're going to jump kind of far ahead into building the wings. These were a little kind of finicky and kind of weird in some spots to build, but I did want to go ahead and show this last little final section of assembly in a little more real time, just kind of skipping ahead to get this thing rolling. See, I did have to clean that piece up a little more once I put it on there, just to get it to fit properly. That's why you always got to make sure you clean the nubs off properly. And then of course here I fumbled with this piece, flipping it every which way till I finally get it on. It's kind of neat how these wings went together. There's not too many of the Gundams that I have actually have wing packs like this. The only other one would be the Strike Freedom, but it's 4 separate wings that kind of snap to the backpack, whereas this, it's these like overlapping sections that slide out from each other. I do show once I get this all put together, it like actually like articulating and stuff. Well, I mean, you kind of see I'm kind of messing with it a little bit here to kind of get it assembled and make sure everything's pressed in together properly. But we'll go ahead and get this guy finished assembled, and then we'll get it all backpack all assembled and on his back. Then it's on to the weapons. And here you see the wings nice and opened up side by side. This one does, I don't know why I had a little trouble getting it back to close all the way up. It's probably, I probably put something on a little wrong. I'll have to check that at some point, but I was able to kind of force it and get it in. Definitely wouldn't want to recommend forcing your plastic model kits too hard, but we'll go ahead and put these guys on the little backpack, just a real basic little assembly like that there, and get them on, and then we'll take a nice little look at them, and then we'll go ahead and get the shield and rifle assembled. Overall, I am very happy with this kit. I do love the design. It's one I wanted to get for a long time, and I had the opportunity to buy it at the same time that I bought the gun cannon, so I couldn't pass it up. Again, as I said earlier in the video, I do some comparisons to just a handful of other kits that I have. I mean, you can kind of see it already next to some Warhammer kits right there with the Tyranid Prime and the Space Marine that I painted not that long ago, both chilling on the desk. But yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. I do have a couple more Gundams down the line, some more of the Warhammer Combat Patrol stuff to be looking out for. The next video is going to be those Tyranids right there, painting them in the color scheme kind of reminiscent of Xenomorphs from Alien. As you can kind of see a prototype version of it on the base of the Space Marine Captain there I did in that video. So it's going to be kind of similar. That was most of me just kind of trying it out. And I do have the next Gundam I'm going to be building is the real grade high new Gundam. As well as in a few months from now I'll be building the Hyper Mega Bazooka for that real grade new Gundam. As well as a special limited edition Gundam that I have on order now. I plan on doing a video talking about those and some other upcoming projects I have for the channel in the next couple of weeks. So just, like I said, subscribe and keep an eye out for that. And while I have the shield in my hands here, I kind of wish in the instructions they would have had me put the beam saber handle in now. I actually didn't realize when I first built it, because I'd forgotten from the show that that's where he stores his beam saber handle, is right there inside that middle section of the shield. I was kind of like messing with it, trying to figure out what the articulation was for, but it's not until the end of the instructions when it's kind of showing you all like the different gimmicks and stuff and like how to transform the model kit into its flight mode that you actually see that you stick the beam saber handle in there. It's been a little while since I had watched the show, so I kind of didn't remember that's where it was, but it would have been nice if it was at that point in the instructions. So after this, all we have left is the rifle, which the rifle does actually have a really cool reloading gimmick, sort of. You can kind of not break it, but like, yeah, kind of break it open like a shotgun or something, and the actual big rounds, which is this first thing that I built here, you can actually change them out just as easily as you put them in. I think it's pretty cool that they included that. It's a real basic gimmick. Not very many have some type of like reloading or gimmick with the weapon itself, other than maybe like a folding handle that you can use to like put it on its back or something. But with that, everything is all put together, and so here it is, me actually putting that beam saber handle in there. So we'll go ahead and get this guy's hands swapped out, and then we'll stick his shield and rifle on. It is a little interesting how the shield kind of goes on there. He's got a hole in his forearm, and then the handle kind of comes up. It doesn't really fully grip the handle. It's just kind of like an open hand with a a movable thumb you can kind of wrap around. But I mean, with the part that goes into form, it does stand pretty, just stay on there pretty good. And this is probably my favorite kind of hands, is the one where the hand is a separate piece and it actually has a peg that goes into the grip of the weapon, so it actually stays in there pretty good. There's some where it's like a little peg on the side, like the Strike Freedom that I have that I use in the size comparisons I'm going to do in a moment. His guns fall out all the time. He has all opposable fingers, has a tiny peg in the handle. It doesn't really stay in, but this actually stays in really good. And on top of that, which I thought was a really cool thing, another thing I didn't really remember in the show, those kind of yellow things on his forearm or claws that come down and actually like snap in to the back of the beam rifle. So he holds it really well, and it's really secure on there, which is awesome. It means that if I have to, move him to like dust him or dust area, I don't have to worry about the gun falling off and then sitting there and trying to get it in right. And but with that, this guy is fully done. Like I said, the decals, I'll do some of them another day. I'm not gonna do too many of them. I didn't really think it was worth keeping in the video, but let's go ahead and get a couple size comparisons going. First up, I have the high grade gun cannon that we built not that long ago. See, it's a couple inches shorter, but it's pretty cool seeing him there. Now the Strike Freedom that I've mentioned a few times, I didn't notice till I was actually editing this that he was a good bit bigger. I thought they'd be a little more similar in size. Then we have the Tall Geese that I mentioned. I'm gonna put him right next to my Tall Geese. Tall Geese I usually keep on a flight stand, but I'll have him stand right there. And then go ahead and zoom out at the wide angle for the big shot. Like I said, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one as I zoom out here on the 148 mega size RX-72 Gundam. Have a good day.